Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown. I am back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And something else as well. Something I've not had in the shed for ages, but anybody who knows me knows that I'm into this thing as well. Because I'm a cider guy, I very much am, but I'm also a cheese guy. In fact, I've been a cheese guy longer than I've been a cider guy. I've got 2 bits of cheese. Have you, Chris? What are they? Good question. Great question, in fact. I think they're going to work, both of them, with the thing we're going to try today as well. First off, we've got chunk of cheddar. This is a cloth bound cheddar, but taking the cloth off it. That is about 14 months old. That is pitchfork cheddar, made in Hewish, North Somerset by the Trethowan brothers, whom I also work for. I look after their stall in Borough Market. And the other corner, we have this fella. This fella, which is not from England at all. It's not from Somerset, it's from Switzerland. It's from the Jura, but it's not Comté. It's from the Swiss Jura. This is Gruyere. And Gruyere does not have to come from Gruyere, as in the town. In fact, no Gruyere is made in Gruyere. And people say it is are wrong, because it's not. And never has been. It's like Stilton. No Stilton's made in Stilton and can't be by law. Protected. Yeah. Weird, huh? I won't explain that now. It'll take too long. We're already a minute and a half in. I've not talked about cider yet. So there you go. Gruyere. From Mons Cheesemongers, who I also work for from time to time, and worked for a lot in the past. And I got the big glass, and we got a big bottle. A big bottle. The last of our big bottles, I think, from Ross-on-Wye. It's there, and it's a good one as well. It's a Harry Masters jersey. I do like that. That sort of like burgundy red sort of label. It's very pretty indeed. It's a Harry Masters jersey, a bittersweet, a vintage bittersweet, soft astringency. You know, full of sugar. It's a great, great thing. Raised by Harry Masters himself. Raised by Harry Masters in Yarlington, in Somerset, South Somerset. Yarlington was actually part of North Cadbury. And North Cadbury is not where North Cadbury Court is. North Cadbury Court is where Montgomery's cheddar is made. So there's a cheddar connection as well. He's also responsible for Yarlington Mill. So, what a great fella nurseryman Harry Masters was. We owe him a debt of gratitude. I think I've said that before. And I probably messed it up as well, like I did just then. So, what does it say on this bottle? Harry Masters jersey is a powerful bittersweet apple that benefits from time. This cider combines 5 oak casks we fermented in 2019, spending 6 months in barrel before maturing for 1 year in a neutral container. After a long, patient wait, we opened them up to taste and knew instantly we had something special. Luscious, juicy Harry Masters that has been softened by oak and time, but still retains its fiery metallic tannins and huge-bodied flavour. A classic bittersweet variety, expressing its journey from the orchard to your glass. 6 months in a barrel, 1 year neutral container. Okay. Don't know what sort of barrel it was. Could have just been a regular barrel, or it might have been a barrel that had something in it, like whiskey or something like that, for example. Let's open it up. Let's not speculate. Let's open it up. So, dry, tannic. Yeah, me thinks it'll work with just about any hard cheese actually. Whoop. Smoking gun. This hasn't been in the fridge, it has been in the cider shed. Way. Look at that. That sparkled up quite nicely, didn't it? So it's not cold. I mean, it's not warm, but it's not super cold. It's about cellar temperature. It's a good temperature to try it at, methinks. ABV, Chris, what is it? 8.2, baby. There was some sugar in that, or there was some booze in the barrel it was in. One of the two. Oh, I do like me big glasses. Look at that. Gorgeous. Alright. It's nice bubbles, nice carbonation. So it's not pet nat. Nope, this one isn't pet nat. There's the colour. Lovely colour. Gold amber. Amber, yeah, it is amber. Pale amber, but it's amber. It's hazy, so it's not fully bright. That's fine. We like that. Wild yeast, unfiltered, etc. Let's give it a sniff. Been in a whiskey barrel. It has been in a whiskey barrel. Oh yeah. Defo. Obs. Been in a bourbon barrel as well. I think that's had bourbon in it. Absolutely. If it hasn't, then you know, call me Beverly and cut my hair. Whatever that means. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of bourbon on the nose, basically. That's what I'm telling you. Hints of sort of maybe aniseed and stuff, something like that. Maybe hints of like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of bourbon on the nose. I expect it to be less bourbony when I taste it, but it's got legs. Look at that, it's got legs. And it knows how to use them. So yeah, it's got some viscosity. So you can see it's got that 8.2%. So I think some of that 8.2, did I say? I didn't know, yeah. It's coming from the barrel. There's some bourbon in this, which has boosted up the alcohol content somewhat. Okay, let's try it. That changes things a bit. Bourbon and Comté, Gruyere, bourbon and cheddar. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. Nice tannins actually. Firm stringency, not too much. Good actually. Sweated apple character in the middle. There is. I am detecting the bourbon quite powerfully. And it's giving it the impression of it having some residual sugar as well. It doesn't feel bone dry. Hints of minerality. There is some leatheriness on the back, it's a hard tan on the back, some of that bitterness kicking in. But that's okay, because that sort of sweetness coming from the bourbon is working. I can feel the heat. It's not brutal though, it's not like medicine hot, you know. But it's there, there's warmth there. And kind of leatheriness on the nose as well. Okay, so I'm getting a bit more fruit now as I'm drinking it. That is right on the edge of how much bourbon I would like in my cider. However, it's on the edge, but it's just within the parameters, I think. I can taste the apple. I can taste Harry Master's Jersey. And that's a good thing, otherwise what's the point of putting it in a bottle, spending all that time, all that hard work, scratting and pressing and aging and letting the wild yeast do thing and blah blah blah, you know, moving it from container to container if you can't taste the Harry Master's Jersey. And you can, but the bourbon is forthright. Okay, I think a lot of people will like this though. I think a lot of people will like this. I really do. For me, I like the Dabanet in the rum cask that I tried recently. Can't remember the number, but I'll put it on the screen. That was brilliant. This is good, don't get me wrong. This is good. But it is very much showcasing bourbon almost as much as it is the Harry Master's Jersey. So, will it work with these cheeses? Now that changes things a bit, because bourbon and cheese, that's a tricky one. Has it retained enough of its character to work with cheese? So here we go. Pitchfork cheddar. So unpasteurised, handmade, cloth bound, sealed with lard, aged for minimum 12 months. Stuff that I sell anyway. Look at the colour of it as well. Yellow colour, out on fresh pasture as much as possible. So if this is 14 months old, it would have been, late summer. So going to be outside on pasture. More beta-carotene in the feed, which brings more colour to the cheese. Beta-carotene is stuff that makes carrots orange. And the same thing that makes cheeses sort of yellow like this. Not orange, they use a dye for that. And natto is the stuff they use to make cheese go bright orange, like red Leicester and stuff like that. This is naturally yellow, just from what the animals are eating. Darker at the edge because it's cloth bound, so it loses more moisture at the edge as it ages, so you get more concentration at the edge. And also you taste the molds from the maturing rum as you eat towards the rinds. You can taste what the maturing rum smell like, and I love that. I love it. So I'm going to take a cross section which includes the rind, because as previously stated, I love it. So what are we expecting? Well, bubbles with fat is good, so we expect that to work. That's got a bit of sweetness. This is not sweet. The Gruyere will have a bit more sweetness. This is going to have acidity, butteriness, minerality, salt, delicate acidity, which I think should offset some of that sweetness. And the fats and the tannin should work as well. I love the rind. I love the rind. It's great. Okay. I would say, I mean, they're both delicious actually. How bad a time could I be having? I mean, if I complain about this, I mean, get a life, first world problem. I think it works alright. I think that somewhat neutralises the sweet bourbon of that and brings it into check and actually makes it more balanced in many ways. I actually do. I actually really do. Let's try it with the Gruyere. So Gruyere, totally different. I mean, I don't think you can see. You see the fissures and cracks in this? This is one smooth, continuous paste. Totally different cheese-making technologies used to make these, and technologies that were developed centuries ago, not recently. This is made where you have access to lots of salt, so you don't have, and you've got lots of wood to burn and stuff like that, so you don't have the same pressing problems you have with this, and you're closer to a market as well when you make cheddar. So you'd have to get out, you'd have to force as much moisture out because you can use salt to preserve it. So you can leave a bit extra moisture in there, etc. You don't have to press it so much, etc., etc. These cheeses, above the tree line, high altitude, so not much wood to burn. So you make cheese twice a day because you don't want to let the milk cool down just to have to waste wood heating it up again. So you get the milk out of the cow into the vat as soon as possible, at body temperature. Get the milk up to a very high temperature. Add your salt, add your rennet, coagulate it, and then you cook those curds hot, 55 Celsius, approx, and that forces out moisture, and you'll cut it and cut it and cut it. So you end up with like curd the size of grains of rice. So the curds for this almost look like bits of chicken breast, torn up chicken breast. Grains of rice the size of the curd for this. When you put them, when they're knit together, it gives this very dense, smooth paste. And also that cooking process, that 55 Celsius cooked curd process, brings enzymes into play which give you sweetness. And also, because it's made quicker, you get less acidity, you retain more calcium, so it's a bendy, more flexible cheese than these sorts of English cheeses, which are more acid when they're made, and therefore they lose calcium and more friable, snappable, breakable, crumbly, if you will. So, this has got more sweetness, it's more pliable, it's because it's got greater amounts of calcium in, etc. That was a very, 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 that was not enough time to talk about the difference between cheddar and Gruyere. But, hopefully, you absorb some of that. So yeah, so you can bend it in a way that you can't bend cheddar. It will snap, but it's much more bendy because of that calcium, smoother, and it will have sweetness. And the Gruyere from Mons Cheesemongers is excellent. They go out there, they select it. It's sweet. It's got umami as well. It's got like a bouillon character. In fact, total bouillon. Almost like a vegetable or chicken bouillon rather than beef. Gorgeous. That brings out the fruitiness in that, actually. It does. It does. However, I think that works better because that seems to have some residual sweetness, and this has got some sweetness as well, and it's relatively low acidity. I think it doesn't pair with it quite as well as the cheddar. Having said that, that is also flipping delicious and totally different to the cheddar. So, what we learnt there, I just had some nice cheese to drink with some cider. So, yeah, interesting. So, bourbon barrel, if you like your barrel-aged whiskey sort of barrel-aged stuff, totally get hold of some of that. For me, the bourbon is quite high in the mix, but not too much. Not too much. And actually, you can still taste the apple. And conversely, if you're going to put it in a bourbon barrel, you'll want to taste the bourbon as well. Otherwise, what was the point in that? So there you go. 2019 Harry Masters Jersey, SVC, single variety cider from Ross-on-Wye. Sorry for the length of this film, but I had lots of things to talk about. So guys, thank you for joining me back in my cider shed. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.